Alright, so because today I have a dentist appointment at 3, a dance lesson at noon, and because I'm hitting a writer's block in my fan fiction, and because I am taking a mental health day, I figured I might as well tackle this next episode. And this next episode is a pretty big milestone for the show. So, we are now going to be looking at MLP's 200th episode. Technically not, but that's why I wanted to review the Best Gift Holiday Special first, because that came in between Season 8 and Season 9. So technically, this next episode is the show's 200th episode, when in actuality it's 199. But it's a pretty big milestone, and there's a good reason why I would consider it the 200th episode. So let's jump into it. So this is Sparkle 7. So this episode starts at the friendship school, where Spike is giving a letter for Twilight, as she basically explains why she's all giddy over this.
I don't. What's so exciting about a toy crown? This is no toy crown. It's the hard-won hero of the Sibling Supreme. When Shining Armor and I were small, we competed over everything.
Classic sibling rivalry. As we basically see a montage of, just as Twilight's saying, basically Twilight and Shining Armor competing over everything.
Sharing, getting good grades, even telling a really funny joke. And at the end of each week, we'd add up the stars.
I smell foreshadowing!
The sibling with the most would win the crown of the Sibling Supreme and bragging rights. Till next time. Guess that explains your love of charts.
This episode already cracks me up.
And so much else. I always wanted to be Sibling Supreme one day.
So, after the theme, Twilight and Spike basically arrive at the castle to kind of explain what's going on. And what makes this episode special and what makes this episode stand out for the 200th episode is that all the main voice actresses are basically all the writers. Basically, when you look at the credits, you see Ashley Ball, Andrea Libman, Tabitha St. Germain, Kathy Westluck, and Tara Strong all involved in the story of this episode. So, when you have all the main voice actresses involved in the story, you know this episode is going to be something special. So anyways, Celestia, Luna, and Shining Armor basically explain the situation as to why Twilight is brought over to Canterlot.
With the return of Sombra, Princess Luna and I felt it was time to reinforce the castle's defenses.
I said we could do it ourselves, but some ponies are a bit stubborn.
The classic sibling rivalry. But yeah, I think what makes this episode great is that while the 100th episode was great, Slice of Life was more of a dedication to more of the background ponies and more of a side story. Sparkle 7, on the other hand, is basically an advancement of the premiere, and that the purpose of this episode actually serves a purpose in the overarching story, where because of Sombron's takeover, the princesses want to increase security.
The guard to handle the job.
As Shining Armor basically explains how he increased security.
Security here to a whole new level. The only thing I need now is some pony to test it.
You want me to break into Celestia's castle?
If you can get past my defenses, steal the crown, and get out, you'll be Sibling Supreme forever.
Forever.
Tara Strong at her best, with the inflections of forever just gets me such joy. And on top of that, the facial expressions in this episode just gives me so much life.
But if you fail, I keep the crown.
Deal. Wait, are you sure this counts? Mom and Dad aren't giving us any stars.
Well, you guys are basically full-grown adults. I think they're probably past the point of that.
Will represent their authority. And thank you, Twilight. Your help will reveal if there are any holes in our security.
line of defense.
Let's see it.
Castle surrounded by shards of Queen Chrysalis's throne. Thanks to Star Swirl, its anti-magic powers are now tuned to stop any creature from using a spell to get inside.
Alright, well that checks off any unicorn magic, so that takes magic out of the equation.
You can't fly in either. Giant fans keep any creature from flying too close to the castle.
Okay, so flying is out of the picture.
Plus, the entrances to the tunnels below the castle have been sealed, so there's no underground access.
But then how would... Well, I guess there is a bit of a hole. I mean, I guess it's formed together by the Canterlot magic, but then how would it basically stop them from anyone with a potential explosive then? So there's a little bit of a hole.
And even if you could get in, which you can't, I've doubled the ranks of security. Police protect every hallway and door, which can only be opened with Royal Guard medals. Even if you brought an army, the throne room is the safest spot in Equestria. I rigged a floor trap to activate at the slightest touch. But say you avoid the floor.
Yeah, by jumping over it, and I'm assuming based on Twilight and Spike's reactions, I would like to believe there's some kind of spike pit at the bottom.
Still no luck, because I've employed nature's alarm system.
So, I'm assuming these creatures are kind of like... I don't know if they're actually called natures. I honestly haven't had time to look it up, but they're basically kind of like white, pinkish geese that have these really loud honks like a geese would. And it's the kind of thing that is a bit annoying.
Their honks all the way in Ponyville. Plus they bite.
Alright, well, I'll give Shining Armor this. He did really think of everything, and on the surface, it does definitely seem like a lot, where I think any normal villain from seasons past wouldn't be able to get through this. So basically, Twilight then basically comes up with a plan, and as she tells the rest of the main six what exactly is going on, as she tries to explain to them how to each pull this off.
And all of this is to win some very good competition with your brother? It's more than that. Okay, it's exactly that. And to protect Celestia's castle.
Yeah, and I think, and like I said, consider that Celestia's castle, obviously with the amounts of break-in from Sombron, I think they probably basically decided, yeah, we should probably step up security at this point.
If it means that much to you, Twilight, we're in. I'm sorry! Come on, who doesn't want to hang with me? Of course we'll help. But how?
Okay, well, first of all, Pinky, so they are geese, and so how exactly are the rest of the main six in to help? Well, Twilight will explain.
They'll come up with some great security, but it'll never guess Twilight's plan. We play to our strengths and defeat all of the security measures. That way, if one of us fails, the others will still have a shot at getting the crown. Pinky, you'll distract the guards with a surprise party. Yes, sir, Twilight, sir! Applejack, you'll buck your way into the sealed tunnels. Rainbow Dash, if any pony can outfly those wind turbines, it's you.
Well, they're more fans than anything.
Guard costumes so we can sneak past security. Then Fluttershy will disable the throne room alarm by charming the geese.
But before, and just as Twilight says all that, Shining Armor basically sends a letter basically saying exactly what Twilight has already said, and basically he kind of knows what she's going to do.
What? Pinky Party rarity costumes? Signed the future sibling supreme? Oh, come on! Twilight, darling. Nobody knows you better than your own brother. So you're saying I should give up? I'm saying your brother will win. No matter how brilliant your plan is, no matter how many variations you try, it will be something your brother expects, and he'll always win. Unless chance comes along to do something he can't expect. Then you'll win.
You've been practicing that speech, haven't you?
A little bit. It's not like I rushed. Did I rush it?
Absolutely not.
Oh. Yeah, we're fast-ish. We have to do the opposite of what Shining Armor expects.
Yes, so Rarity's kind of all on the heist aspect, and essentially what she suggests is that basically each of the main six should do the opposite of what anyone would suggest out of them.
Therefore, Twilight cannot mastermind the plan. But I can!
That's definitely unexpected.
Oh God, that cracks me up.
Why, the own unexpected part of it. Allow me to demonstrate.
So Rarity uses her magic, basically getting information, basically as Shadow Spade, to basically try to get her own ways of getting inside the castle.
Tell me with information. We got questions, and you're gonna serve us up some answers, stupid Daffy.
I really like how Rainbow Dash is kind of getting more involved in basically the Shadow Spade-esque story. I guess maybe she probably took back all the things from back in the end in Fran and has now gotten involved with Shadow Spade now. No. So basically through some high-stakes shenanigans with that, we basically see Pinky basically jumping through space.
Oh, Pinky, that tickles.
How about something a little more down to earth? Like, I distract the guards with a farewell performance by my alter ego, famous country western superstar, Apple Corn.
I didn't know you had an alter ego. And why would she be giving a farewell performance?
Well, it's a long story.
I'd like to know.
Back on the farm, playing music was about making her family smile. Word of her talent spread, and soon Apple Corn was playing real shows. The more she played, the bigger those shows got. But she missed playing for her family. So one day, she gave it all up. Seeing her family smile was all she ever wanted from her music. Of course, Apple Corn could come out of retirement for a farewell concert this one time.
Kind of makes you wonder how nobody has ever figured that out before. And I really like that, even if it's, I think it kind of hints whether or not it's real or so, but I do like how they bring this Apple aspect for Applejack.
Did you just make all that up, or did that actually happen? Nothing. It's perfect. Fluttershy, Spike. Well, I guess the opposite of what I'm good at is being so basic.
And I really like how basically we then see Spike and Fluttershy's plan basically doing a Mission Impossible-esque type of thing, because that's the kind of thing we would expect from Fluttershy.
One left that still needs a plan. Oh, no, darling. That is the plan. You shall do nothing.
Shining Armor definitely won't expect that.
So basically then, we basically cut to Karen a lot, where basically they put the plans in motion as Applejack basically starts to sing.
What are you doing?
Applejack? Who's that? My name's Apple Corn, and I've got a couple of songs to play for you. Clap your hooves if you know them. And a one and a two and a... My love is like a barrel full of hay.
Okay, I was just about to ask, I don't know if I would probably mute this, considering that the song only lasted like a few seconds, but basically when I saw it, the song seemed like it had potential there. So basically, Fluttershy, basically in her costume from Magic Duel, basically it goes into the sky flying over the balloon as Shining Armor comes across Twilight and basically asks what exactly is going on.
You're up to something, Twilight.
No, just looking at the flowers.
Right.
God, this makes me so...
Maybe Rarity's plan will work.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, during this, basically one thing I skipped over was that for whatever reason the balloon ended up popping and now Piggy's basically flying all over the place as this ends up distracting the guards.
Where's Spike and Fluttershy? Did they make it into the castle? They jumped out right before the balloon went. But that's all I can see without being in space, where I didn't get to go. Let's hope Rarity and Rainbow Dash had better luck.
So then we see Rarity and Rainbow Dash basically trying to get more information as basically Rarity shakes down the nicest pony ever.
We missed the shakedown Manuel for information.
Yeah, even when she shakes him down, the guy is just basically so polite and still smiling.
What information do you need?
The location to a secret entrance to the passages under Canterlot Castle.
You mean that one?
So then we see Princess Luna come in with a new guard, basically shifting off guard duty, where... No. Oh, Jesus, no.
Zephyr, freeze.
Okay. So... You probably remember when I reviewed Flutter Brother, I pretty much made a 45-minute review explaining why the episode sucks. And remember when I said that the main reason why the episode sucks so hard is that the quote-unquote moral that the episode tries to teach? Basically, with this episode, seeing basically Zephyr now be a member of the Royal Guard, basically, it makes everything that he did in Flutter Brother to graduate main therapy null and void. Which means he's basically the same lazy bum as when I reviewed the episode nearly 3 years ago. So let's bite and see what he has to say, as we're probably wondering why the hell he decides to give up on main therapy to be captain of the guards as Rarity dresses up Rainbow Dash to talk to him, and because he is basically a simp, tries to flirt with him.
What? Rainbow! I knew you'd come running when you heard I got this job. The mayor's love a pony in uniform.
I was going to say if Zephyr was just about as insufferable as he was in Flutter Brother, but nope, he's far more annoying.
Am I right?
Not really. I mean, totally. Why don't you step into the light so I can see how handsome you look in it?
I'm sure Rainbow Dash wanted to vomit in her mouth for saying that. So Rarity ends up sneaking into the walls, and...
I told the stars that gold kind of clashes with my aura, but apparently they aren't big on input. Still, I totally managed to rock the look. Don't you think?
I want to punch this dude in his face. He's a sucker, and he's burning me out.
That's what I want to do to Zephyr right about now.
Yep. You're real guard material.
I'm part of the castle team now, so I'm basically... Whoa, we got a spooner! It's good you're finally being honest with your feelings on your rainbows. Okay, I'll say it right now. Holly! Holly! Holly!
I seriously want to punch him in the face right about now.
The truth is such a gift. Like, I had to follow my bliss to see guarding is my calling. Like, look at me go. I'm gonna walk.
So yeah, so basically, this whole segment proved that Zephyr learned absolutely nothing from Flutter Brother, and he is still the lazy jackass bum that he is from 3 seasons ago.
Walk over here and I go, whoa, over there. And I go, yeah. Sometimes I just stand like this and look real cool, and I go down the hallway and go, how about we get a hell no, fuck you, shut up.
Yeah, so just to recap, Zephyr Breeze is just insufferable as he was in Season 6. And basically, like I said, this episode proves that everything he learned in Flutter Brother is now officially null and void. See? So Spike and Fluttershy try to make their way inside the castle, but they end up falling through the trap door, and we see Luna get annoyed with the geek.
False alarm from Shining Armor's guard team.
So clearly it seems like everything is practically falling apart at this point, and Twilight naturally starts to panic.
Any
Fluttershy. I thought your whole small space thing was just part of the plan to be unexpected.
Once I got trapped in the castle of the two sisters, and Angel Bunny and I were separated. Now whenever I'm in a tiny room, it's all I can think about. I was so worried he felt alone and forgotten.
Except for the fact that he didn't, because your bunny has been a spoiled brat for practically 9 seasons.
I know what that's like.
What do you mean?
I was always excited to be part of Twilight's and Shining Armor's rivalry, like I was their little brother. But they never really thought of me that way.
I know they both have a special place in their heart for you.
So this is why I said that massive foreshadowing during Twilight's flashback, because we see that Spike was just as part of the sibling competition as they were, but he was sort of more like pushed to the background, so he does seem like that he feels left out, and it's nice to see him opened up to it. So then Rainbow Dash basically ends up pulling all the levers and helping free Spike and Fluttershy, as they basically then decide to...
Perhaps we should return to the outside and reevaluate.
So as Twilight is, well, twilighting, and the others end up returning.
That might have been too unexpected.
Every part of it failed?
Oh, now I'll never get the crown.
Maybe we should go back to doing things the Twilight way.
You mean the totally expected way?
It may not be a surprise, but you have a pretty good record for planning things.
So they basically end up doing exactly what they originally planned, as Pinky ends up throwing the party, and amazingly, it works, as it completely distracts the guards. I think the fact that even when Shining Armor told them exactly what they were going to do, they still fall for it anyway. And then Rarity sneaks in with the guards and uses these pendants and gets inside, as Rainbow Dash helps Fluttershy fly her way in, and...
To be fair, it was never made specifically clear to me what guarding actually means, so this is on you.
I really wish that guard would just punch him in the face right then and there.
You know, I really do fucking hate him.
I think that's pretty much about everybody in the audience, and hopefully this is the last time we will ever see Zephyr Breeze in an episode, even if it's only a cameo, because seeing him in an episode makes me blood boil, and it makes me want to snap his wings in half. So, anyways, so while Applejack is a little bit unsure of how to break open the rocks, Twilight brings in Maud to basically help her break the stuff in, as they are able to get inside the castle with the help of Fluttershy, but it seems like...
It's unexpected for you to do everything exactly how I thought you would. But you should know by now, there's no way to beat the true Sibling Supreme.
I am sorry, Twilight, but it looks as though Shining Armor has truly won the crown.
But then, plot twist!
That's the thing about looks. They can be deceiving.
Spike?
How in Equestria did you do it?
Come on, you two don't think you have the only sibling rivalry. I had an inside pony help.
I know some people have a problem with this twist, but honestly, just seeing Luna just petting the geese like she's Dr. Claus just cracks me up. Like, it's so an unexpected twist, I just can't help but laugh at it, as Spike basically gives the explanation of how he was able to pull this off.
It wasn't hard to miss there was some disagreements on the whole security thing. I said we could do it ourselves, but ponies are a bit more stubborn. So, while Shining Armor went on and on about all his improved security measures, Luna and I struck a deal. She put Zephyr in charge of the catacombs.
Okay, so it was intentional and it was an official. Well, still, Zephyr is still a jackass.
And helped keep Celestia out of the castle hallways. Once Luna was on board, I just had to do my part.
So yeah, so the scene where the balloon went out of control, which again was one of the things I skipped over, Spike actually didn't intentionally, and it was all on purpose.
And make sure we stuck to Twilight's plan, so we'd all get to the throne room at the same time. I knew Shining Armor would let it play out to the last possible second. Then, while everyone was distracted by its gloating, all Luna had to do was float the crown over to me. threats inside the castle as well as out.
Considering what Cozy Glow did in the season 8 finale, we probably should have been taking steps from that as well.
If you agree,
If you think it's worth discussing.
I'm assuming that after this entire scene, Celestia and Luna just start to bicker and just catfight with each other. I would have loved to have seen that scene.
So, if Twilight and Shining Armor failed, who gets the crown?
But we see that they decide that they're going to let Spike keep the crown as they do treat him like a little brother, and the rest of the main six come in for a hug, and that was Sparkle 7. And do I need to say anything else? This episode was awesome. I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Just seeing a lot of the creative ideas of a heist in this episode, but also advancing the story to basically increase security to see how any villain wouldn't be able to get through. A lot of the jokes pretty much cracked me up in this episode. The plot twist was just pure gold. Like, it was just so much fun to watch this episode, and just seeing all the voice actresses' ideas of this heist basically shine through. It was just a treat for the eyes. And there was, even though with a lot of the gloating, I do like the personal development, how Spike does feel kind of left out, but we see how it's used to his advantage and how he's still cared for by Shining Armor and Twilight. This episode was just a ball of fun. I think really the only thing that really I can criticize about this episode is the fact that, as I said, this episode proved that Zephyr Breeze is still one of the most annoying characters in the whole show, and that everything that he learned in Flutter Brother is null and void, making Flutter Brother an even worse episode than it ever was before. And Zephyr, and anytime I see him on screen, Zephyr still makes me want to punch him in the face. But other than that, this episode was just an absolute joy to watch. I had no other help. I just couldn't help but crack a smile the entire time. And I think it goes to show why this episode is very highly regarded and why it's very enjoyable. Oh, it's another huge milestone for the show. However, I think it's better than Slice of Life because it's actually following a story narrative that helps advance the story of the overarching story of the final season. So, this episode is just a ball of fun. So, Sparkle 7 for me is an A+ episode. Alright, so with that, another one bites the dust, and it's slowly starting the realization that these episodes are starting to run out, but we're not at the halfway point yet, so I'm going to enjoy the episodes for what they are. So, next time, we will be taking a look at The Point of No Return. See you guys next time. Bye.